Hi, welcome. On this video, I'm over here with Koji for board and training. Now in this video here, you see Koji has a muzzle on. So here, he's not liking, the muzzle based again on the food being associated with this exercise. But this is the thing to understand. Again, when you're dealing with a dog that has gained a level of control, here yesterday, when I was working the food exercise, again, you see on the video itself, there's a couple of more sketchy moments there leading up to wanting to bite me. In fact, attempting to bite me happened off camera, where he became very upset over the food. And so this is why, again, this exercise here, I'm going to be working this exercise with the muzzle on with Koji, because again, this is about keeping it safe. He's developed a high level of possessiveness regarding the food. And so here, he's definitely not liking this exercise, but what I'm going to be doing here, this is again about working through this. Even when I'm doing this, this is about, there's still some accommodation. This isn't about trying to start a war with Koji over this, but he's got to understand that I control the food. So this is something that has to be worked through because he's hit a really unhealthy level. So again, when I'm talking about the contrast here between how to do this, because again, when a dog has a lot of aggression towards, say, food, and to avoid anyone getting bitten, at the same time, the dog needs to eat. So on the video I put out prior, you'll see kind of how I'm, building the bridge here with this. So between sitting down in my chair with the leash, just allowing him to take control somewhat, but I still have the leash attached. So I'm still nudging a little bit, but I'm not directly into doing the method off without a muzzle on, because that sets up the potential for me to get bit. So then the question is, well, how can you reverse a situation like this, knowing that that's there, and keep people from getting hurt? Well, this exercise here, you're going to see me doing this with the muzzle. Now the food is in the background, right there, so this is through association. But this exercise now is not about him eating, this is about me taking control near the food. So here what I'm going to be doing with Koji is I'm going to be moving in a circle method, a little bit of a circle, and putting him into some downs. But I expect he's going to be you're going to see moments of him being very reactive here, I expect. Because again, he doesn't like this, because he knows what's happened. He knows, hey, I'm taking control here. And so, but again, I'll be doing this, attempting to do this in such a way as to not trigger high moments with him. But I expect they could happen, because this is just, we're kind of in the middle of this. So, but again, as we move forward, you'll see change happening as the process moves forward. So, because this is something I'm going to be working on a lot with Koji, because this is something that's really developed, and it's not good because it plays into everything else. So he'll look a little crazy right here. You see how he's looking, his demeanor, right? Kind of like, but a good sign is always like he's not trying to rip that muzzle off with his paws. Again, that's one of the things with even when you start to use a muzzle, is that's a non-negotiable thing. The dog needs to accept the muzzle. So here, that's part of it. I want him to accept it, but doesn't like it because he knows I'm tying it into the food now. So I'm not just walking him with the muzzle on somewhere. This is getting in his pond in a very direct way with the method. Understand this method is very specific. So this is really exposing the problem. So I'm going to start to move with Koji. I'm going to turn around towards the food, but you'll see how I'm doing this, taking my time. Again, I'm not trying to start a war with Koji, but he definitely isn't going to like this. Just like a child not liking the parent getting in their airspace a certain way. Just think about the selfish child. If you're at a distance, they think they can still work the system. If you're a parent and you're in their airspace, in a very personal way, not in an aggressive way, but in a personal way, for a very selfish child, it's going to create, some kickback. So you're going to see kickback here a little bit, I expect. So I'm going to start to move him a little bit here. If I move him, it's going to take my time. Food's right here, so I'm going to put him into a down. Get him to relax. You see, now see, I get close to the food, it agitates him a little bit more, so the muzzle, he's trying to move his mouth here, because it's triggering, that's that bite reflex. So that is in his toolbox, right? So you see his mouth moving more. The muzzle isn't bearing down on him to create that discomfort, just that because of the association, it's causing his mouth to move more. So because that's part of how he wants to deal with this. So bring him up into a sit. Because he wants to win, right? He's prepared. This is the thing to understand with dogs. You get to this level, that forward aggressiveness is a big problem because, you know, he's hitting a level now where he thinks that, you know, if someone gets into his spot like this, you know, he's prepared to go at it. Yesterday, he really showed me that off camera with how determined he was. Same thing, move forward here. Put him into a down. He's pretty agreeable right now. And so here what I'm going to do is just do tapping the leash a little bit. See, his mouth is wanting to move. You know, but the whole thing is this work it through part. So here what I'm doing is the food's right there. I'm not trying to push him over his mind over the edge, so to speak. You know, this is just about, so there is a combination where it's saying, the messaging is, hey, we're here near the food. You're going to relax, right? I'm going to get into your food this way, but we're going to deal with this together because you're going to learn to interact with things as a follower. Okay, now right here, now there's a moment of calmness. So one of the signs to look for is when, see, right here, starting to relax a little bit more here right now. And so this is good because if I can just create some relaxation this way, even with the muzzle on, this way near the food, that's good, right? So this, because I'm very direct here, so getting in the mix this way. And I'll understand that I'll increase expectations. So I'm going to, you know, the method itself is going to get a little bit more assertive in around here as I go forward with this, as the days go by. But for right now, you know, again, I'm not trying to trigger a battle with Koji. That's in him though, right? So I'm but at the same time, I'm in full control. So it's like knowing where that line is between, if you loosen it up too much, you accommodate too much, and you're going the other way. Okay, he'll maintain control. So you have to know right where that line is to go just beyond it each time to change his thinking the right way. So understand there's a line that you have to know how to play off that line. Because again, if I just kind of weaken up here, right, and go kind of emotional or accommodate him or do certain things, it'll never resolve this problem. Okay, it'll never fix it. Somebody will get bit. He'll look. That's why you'll see, if you notice on the last video, all the indicators were there that I was going to get bit. Okay, he was moving his body around the dish. He was trying to, you know, get what he wanted, but trying to stay away from me a certain way. And even eating faster. He had a little moment of growling, a couple of growling moments that was building up. Because this is very specific, this method. So here he's relaxing. Doesn't mean that, again, this is like a cocktail. Okay, this isn't like total relaxation. Okay, this is a cocktail between like 30% relaxation, you know, 20% still aggression in him. And so, because when I bring him up and move him, you know, he could trigger again. So this is just kind of working this out. So I'm going to bring him up because I need him to work through it. Because right here, if I keep him there like that, yeah, he'll relax, but then to work this out of here,